Well, hello, my soul friends. I am mixing it up a little bit. I went back to the having a background and where you can't see my hands over here, and it's kind of silly, right? I'm in a playful mood. I'm feeling into the full moon in Gemini happening on December 7th. I wanted to get this video out yesterday on December 4th, but I was a bit under the weather. And if you watched my previous video, you could see I didn't have the energy or capacity. I could barely speak to get this message out to you, but feeling much better today. Thank you for your prayers and feeling much, much better. And I'm feeling into this full moon in Gemini. It is the last full moon of 2022. Can you believe it? We're in December. Anyway, welcome, my soul friends. I'm so grateful for all of you on this journey with me. Those who comment have a special place in my heart because it makes this connection real. You know, there are actually people I'm connecting with, I'm offering something to, I'm supporting, which is my mission, my joy. And so when I share a video, it's soul call. I'm here because I feel called to be here. Otherwise, believe me, I wouldn't be here because I've had to overcome some obstacles to be here. Still a learning curve for me, still figuring out lighting, still figuring out background. I like having a funky background, especially now that Neptune's gone direct. I want a Neptunian kind of vibe, right? So I welcome you. Thank you for being here with me. I'm really honored by anyone who stops by and watches and all the views, and those of you who comment and help me get out into those YouTube waters, expanding and connecting to the algorithm, however that all magically works. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with me. And if you haven't yet, do subscribe right now. Pause and subscribe. Okay, so you know what I like to do when we talk about the lunation cycles is, I'm going to share a bunch of words with you right now because we're moving towards the moon in Gemini. We're still in Sagittarius season. So we've been really working with what do we believe? We've been getting really honest about how our lives are going. I love that this is the last full moon of the year in Sagittarius sun, opposite moon in Gemini, because wow, you know, for a while now, I mean, forever, but intensely since 2020, we have been reviewing our story, our individual personal story, reviewing hopefully our subconscious material that blocks our soul expression and essence. And expression is another key word here. And witnessing what's going on in the world, this unfolding story. And we're like, wait, what's working, what's not working. We've had Mercury in retrograde since was it October 30th, I think. No, I'll have to look that up. I'm so bad with the dates. I'm better in the feeling tone of what's happening, with the patterns that are happening, with the weather that's happening, the celestial weather. But Neptune was retrograde, just went direct, and now we're coming up on this full moon. I just feel into this is a good place to look at. We've been reviewing with Neptune in retrograde. Our filters were off. We were seeing things that were not working in our lives, in our relationships, in the world. And with Mars retrograding in Gemini, we've been thinking a lot about reviewing, thinking where we spend our energy, our time, what we're passionate about and what we're not passionate about anymore, right? It's like blinders off, review time. And now with this full moon, I feel like it's a culmination of what have you been learning that has evolved your personal story, evolved your own personal philosophy. Hopefully, you've been working with your beliefs, checking your beliefs. I just heard in my head, you know, what is that Christmas song? It's making a list, checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice. Well, hopefully we've been checking our beliefs and finding out which ones are supportive and which ones are not. And we've been expanding our beliefs, or cultivating new beliefs that expand our potential and expand our perspective of the world, our inner world, and our external world. Remember, we see the external world through this world. So hopefully, and if you watch my channel, I imagine you are someone who does your inner work, who does your soul work, who takes this work seriously, because you know that's your contribution to evolving something higher and greater to be for the world we share, right? So comment anywhere and anything I say that strikes a chord with you, sparks something in you. Basically, the way I do these videos, I make a few notes, but mostly I feel, what does that feel like? And certainly, I'll tell you, we're 2 days out away from the full moon. I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling the call with curiosity. Moon in Gemini. Let's focus on Gemini a little bit, and then I'll get into more of the aspects. Remember, a full moon is the sun in opposition to the moon, 180 degrees apart, which is, it sounds like, oh, that doesn't sound good, oppositional, right? But what does it offer? It offers us a beautiful view of the Sagittarius energy and the beautiful view of the Gemini energy and possibilities. And then the two kind of merge in the middle. We need to find the balance. We need to integrate the good qualities or the helpful qualities of Gemini and offer those up to Sagittarius, and Sagittarius has something to bring to the party. And these two, even though they're opposite, come together with their giftings, with their unique way of being and expressing, to help us bring our unique way of being and expressing into the world. Okay. So I had to go on Zoom. This is another thing I'm going to figure out for the new year. I wanted to record from my phone, and because it's clear picture and all that, but here I am on Zoom. So thank you. I know some of my friends tell me that watch, they're more auditory anyway. They're not even watching, they're just listening. So it's all good. Okay. So let's talk about, so Sagittarius, this is, we're still in Sagittarius season. So I know you Sagittarians out there are still partying, still having a good time, because it's your birthday month. It's your birthday season. So many blessings to you. But we, those who are not Sagittarius, have been swimming in the waters of Sagittarius. The sun has been in Sagittarius. We're feeling into that. The essence of Sagittarius is like inspiration and exploration and adventure. And both Sagittarius and Gemini are about change and shifting things up, and they're both kind of playful energies, which is so lovely. Sagittarius is the truth teller, though. So this is, like I said, we've been reviewing and looking with really clear connection to what we want, what we don't want. That's Mars in retrograde. Mars is how we move towards what we want. It's kind of felt like with all this, retrograde with Mars and Neptune. I said to, actually I commented on one of my viewers' messages about, yes, it's felt like kind of being out to sea without a rudder, and we're like trying to get to this new shore. We're trying to get to this new way of being, but we're kind of stuck in the boat, right? And so it's been a time to really pause and reflect what's working, what's not. Sagittarius energy has invited us to be our own philosophers, to question what we believe, as I said before, to create a new vision, to be open-minded and searching for the truth. And we might have even got a little sassy this season, because Sagittarius is, no filter sometimes, just that's what I feel. That's what I think. My best friend has her moon in Sagittarius. I have a lot of Sagittarius energy too, Venus and Mars, but she has, she has a moon in Sag, and she has a Gemini rising, which is why I love this energy that's coming for the full moon, because I love my Lori. She's awesome, best friend. But she is a truth teller. She is the one I go to and I say, okay, tell me the truth. And she does. I mean, she doesn't beat around. She doesn't, she just, you ready? Here we go. Boom. And that is where we've all been playing for a while now. Yep. truth is up front. We're not denying it anymore. We've been looking at things that aren't working. And so Sagittarius is saying, okay, how do we take the direct approach to this higher vision that's possible for yourself and for the world, right? It's also inspired us to want to travel, to journey. And remember, we don't need to even get on an airplane to travel. We can travel to new places in our minds. We can expand our heart and invite more people, new perspectives, different cultures. And that is Sagittarius, embracing the higher perspective. Okay, so let's see, what else did I want to say about Sagittarius? It's also connected to, again, religion and philosophy, and the shadow side I've touched on before with the Sagittarius new moon is this righteousness that can come with Sagittarius energy, where we're not willing to look at any other perspective. It's only our way, and that can be challenging. But here comes Gemini to the party. Now, Gemini moon, so another way to think about the full moon is the sun is the masculine, the moon is the feminine. These two luminaries coming together to illuminate, to balance the masculine and feminine perspective, right? And so we have Gemini moon, our emotions, which can be almost, it doesn't seem like they flow well together, because Gemini is more logical and curious and wants to get to the bottom of things, is really loves information, learning and growing. And Sagittarius is like, meet me on the mountaintop. I'll tell you what it's like from there. I'll tell you what the meaning of life is there, because when I get there, when I take the journey, I'll know. And Gemini is like, let me open a book and let me Google it and let me research it. So again, these gifts, these mutual, they both have gifts to meet in the middle and say, okay, so Gemini is saying to Sagittarius energy, okay, you really are trying to expand your perspective, your philosophy. I did some research. I fact checked a few things. Here are some things to share. And can we be curious about why you believe that way, right? So that it's this good conversation. I love, again, talking with my Gemini and Sagittarius friends, or people who have moon or rising Gemini or Sagittarius. My husband has Gemini rising, because it's this like continual unfolding, following curiosity. And that is the way, my friends, like really, if you're stuck in a limiting belief, it's because you haven't been curious about what it would be like to do something different, right? And this is a time of, a little soapbox moment here. If we don't begin to put down our judgments and narrow viewpoints of this is how it should be and only this way, we are going to miss the opportunity to evolve together. Okay. And I'm not going to say anything more than that. Okay. All right. This is Sagittarius wants to step front with the on the soapbox. All right. So, and this is what I feel, and a lot of empaths, you're already practicing astrology, whether you understand what's happening or not, when you check in to say, how am I feeling? Where's the energy? What do I feel like doing? And what am I called to do? You may be noticing as we move towards this full moon, your curiosity is heightened. Do you want to learn something, that thing you've been putting off? Maybe you're wanting to make travel plans. And because it's a full moon, it's showing us, illuminating all the things that are blocking our light, blocking that potential of our vision. Okay. So Gemini, super, all you Gemini folks out there, especially, moon in Gemini as well, or Gemini rising, the teachers, the writers ruled by Mercury have a lot to say, a lot to express, a lot to communicate. So this is a time when we need to be having those conversations to really take what you've learned and reviewed over the whole year, really, but mostly since the new moon in Gemini. Was it May? It was May. And what intention you set there and what is still not into fruition, right? You haven't quite gotten there yet. A lot of people say the full moon is like, yep, culmination. We've reached the end of a cycle. But to me, It is just an opportunity to review more and let go and purge what's in the way of that vision, of that possibility. Okay, so I'm so used to going live now that I want to check the chat box. Does anybody have any questions? If you have questions, write them in the comment box right now, okay? And if you're just now tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. I love that too. And again, subscribe. And here's the beautiful opportunity about subscribing right now. I do this for free. I'm not monetized or anything like that, you know, although my husband would like me to be, I'm not. I do this for joy. I do this to hone my skills of communication. I do this to outreach to anyone out there. You know, I figure I have a greater chance with millions of people out there to land a helpful, inspirational, supportive message somewhere out there. And there's nothing greater than feeling like you're fulfilling your soul mission, right? Okay, so subscribe and comment. If you just say where you're from, that's awesome. If you want to tell me what your sign is, if you have Gemini or Sagittarius in your chart, and this full moon is going to affect mostly sun sign Gemini's, moon in Gemini, or Gemini risings, and it affects us all where Gemini is in our natal chart. What house is Gemini in your chart? That is where the moon will be, the full moon conjuncting, did I say this yet? Conjuncting Mars, retrograde Mars, but Mars is in Gemini, exact conjunction to the moon. So, wow, you know, that's like emotions just really activated, a feeling of, it could feel like frustration or irritability because you want movement, you want to go forward, but it's still feeling like not quite ready yet. And you're so tired of hearing not yet, not yet, not yet. You're like, I want to just bust through the limitations right now. Well, use the energy of wanting to bust through limitations to bust through the limiting beliefs that you're holding that are not empowering you to move in the direction of your vision. I like to point out, let's do this real quick and then I'll remember to come back to it. I point out to my clients, because I work with beliefs all the time. What is the word in the middle of belief or believe? And when you think about it, put it in the comment. And then I'll come back to that in just a moment. Okay. So the house where Gemini is where the moon is. And then, of course, the sun, where the sun is in Sagittarius in your chart, is also impacted. This axis between Sagittarius and Gemini, who are just like beaming. I have this image of beaming their medicine to each other, like Sagittarius inviting Gemini to think bigger, new ideas, and Gemini beaming to Sagittarius, have a plan, do a little research, bring your dream and rooted in something that we can move forward with, that is factual, that is, it's tangible. Sagittarius energy can be very so lofty in the vision that again, I'm speaking as one because I do resonate with Sagittarius quite a bit, with Venus and Mars and Sag and my sun in the 9th house. So, super, like, hey, let's pray, let's expand, let's stop being limited. But we do need this Gemini influence. And where it is, again, with Mars retrograding, we've been reviewing, where have we been putting our energy that hasn't been fruitful? And where do we want to collect what we've learned and apply it to the potential of our future? We're just about in a new year. And by the way, I will be doing an end of the year review. I usually do a guided imagery to help you kind of just gather yourself, but I imagine you already have been learning. Are you tired of lessons yet? Just remember, they're purposeful to your evolving and to becoming who you need to be to achieve your vision, all you dream of. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else I wanted to share before I say goodbye for now. Okay, so yep, the full moon aspecting Mars and retrograde in Gemini, I mentioned that. The full moon is occurring on December 7th at 8:07 p.m. Pacific time. I did see somewhere 8:08. I also, when I was looking at when Neptune went direct, I saw the 3rd, I saw the 5th, I saw the 6th, and I was like, how very Neptune, like unclear when it goes direct. So on let's see. Oh, this is important because on December 6th, the day before the full moon, this is actually a blessing and support, because Gemini and Sagittarius energy can be they're air signs, very much in their head about ideas and concepts, and not rooted or grounded in anything to help grow those ideas, to manifest those ideas. Okay, so on December 6th, the day before the full moon, Mercury, which is the planetary ruler of the moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, enters Capricorn. This is like one of the few times I'd be like, woohoo, Capricorn's joining the party, because Capricorn, I have a Capricorn rising, can be such a party pooper. It's like, Capricorn ruled by Saturn, will you just let me do what I want to do and be free to be myself? Well, in this case, Mercury and Capricorn is saying, hey, Sagittarius and Gemini, these are some really cool ideas you've got floating around, where's your plan? What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? And there may be a little checking. Do you feel ready? That's just Capricorn. I've made peace with my Capricorn. Any Capricorns out there, or Capricorn risings or Capricorn moons? Because we've had to make peace with feeling held back so often when we just want to bust through, right? Well, I think, again, this moon in Gemini is inviting us to bust free. Sagittarius, that's a key word, freedom. To create a new story that is empowered by supportive beliefs, to bust forward, break free from our limiting beliefs, and not just create a new story, but live a new story, empowered by your soul potential. That's what I feel. That's it right there. Okay. So what else I want to say? I already mentioned Sun. Well, Mars and the moon are conjunct. And so that makes Sun opposite Mars. And that, again, that could feel like a return of just like this oppositional energy of rising of passion and purpose and energy, and really wanting to just move the F forward. I know what you're thinking. I meant move the faith forward. What were you thinking? All right. I love playful energy. It is my nature. I love it. And so you're invited to this, to really play. I'm going to switch off the notes now because I think I've said enough about this full moon. I want to wrap up because I don't want these to be too long. But I think that all the energy that comes is an opportunity to play, but especially with Moon and Gemini, to play, to let your curiosity expand, to dream a new dream with Neptune direct now too. You've gathered enough information to create that new story that's empowered, that you get to step in as the leading person of your story unfolding. You're the leading lady, the leading man. And you get to create that. This is the co-creation time with your soul and the potentials. But it's important, especially with Mercury going into Capricorn, to put some practical steps underneath. I'm like seeing wheels underneath. Oh no, I got a new image. I'm getting images here. Training wheels for a little while. Don't worry, not forever. Let Mercury and Capricorn be the training wheels on your vehicle that wants to just bust free in 2023, wants to make sure you're stable in the direction you want to go in, wants to make sure you got some kind of a plan, and that you've listened and communicated with the Gemini ideas and the Sagittarius evolution into a higher philosophy. So that's all I have for you right now. Please tell me what you are noticing about this energy. Did I hit anything for you that resonates? Are you working on changing and shifting your beliefs, expanding to that higher potential? I also want to keep offering this image of Sagittarius calling us to the peak experience on the top of the mountain. We don't get there with our nose in the book, but we do need to reference. We need to have some guidance, whether it's a teacher, a book, a soul guide like me, to help you get to the top of that peak experience and potential of your soul. So, okay, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how this has been affecting you. And thank you for being with me. I just adore all of you. And some of you, you know, have become my real soul friends and sending emails and connecting with me. And I'm all for that. You know, I'm pretty much in my work cocoon right now. And so I love knowing that I'm outreaching just like the stars behind me, right where you are, the celestial sky. You are under the same sky. You might have a different view of the constellations, but we're under the same sky, utilizing the same potential that God, the universe, has offering all of us. May we rise with our purpose and power and learn to co-create a beautiful world together. All right. Joy-filled blessings to all of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.